That one Bloomberg writer is at it yet again, claiming that a couple different developers have a 4K dev kit system and have been told to target 4K for the Nintendo Switch in 2022, he says. And we're going to talk about it and just what all the specifics are and the response that Nintendo gave through an official release to investors. With that, let's talk about just what this Bloomberg writer says and why he should not be believed. I can't show you the Bloomberg article right now. It is locked behind a subscription at the moment. That kind of sucks. So we'll be showing MyNintendoNews and a couple other sites all have different things talking about the Bloomberg article. And basically you just go down in these. Bloomberg is reporting that employees at 11 game companies have said that their teams were in possession of Nintendo's 4K development kit for the Switch. The companies span the globe, ranging from large publishers to small studios, and include at least one that has never made a console game before, Zynga, I believe. Zynga Inc. According to employees who asked not to be identified because they weren't authorized to discuss the project publicly. Not only that, according to Bloomberg, these companies have had them since July. I think we need to realize just who we're talking about, right? Bloomberg has been claiming that we're going to be getting a 4K Switch since 2019, talking about a Switch Pro. This one Bloomberg writer in particular was the one that really fueled the Switch Pro before E3 announcement rumor in Bloomberg article in May. And even beforehand, he talked in a March Bloomberg article about a Switch that's going to have the Samsung 7-inch OLED screen that would be 4K capable, though we didn't talk about how it would. This turned out to be the announcement that we got. The Switch OLED that was effectively the exact same Switch, just with an OLED screen and a couple other changes to it to make it a little more interesting. If you want to go find just all the differences with it, people have got them early. People like Kevin Kenson in particular, I really enjoyed his. He's made like 2-3 videos about it now, and I like them all. What was particularly funny about this article is the only company that was stated by name was Zynga. Zynga is the company that made games like Farmville for Facebook. They make either browser and now mobile games, now that Facebook moved away from those sort of games. And they're making one game that's going to be coming out next year, Star Wars Hunters. And I think it's just a matter of them making a claim again through these random sources that I think are just blowing air up their ass at this point. And they just keep writing these articles. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they're just doing it for the clicks at this point, because they've never shown anything to substantiate it. And they started out by making claims of just, it's gonna be 4K. And they're really talking about how they're gonna do it with NVIDIA. And then later on, I don't actually know if Bloomberg made the claim or not, but everyone was saying that NVIDIA was gonna use DLSS technology, their AI upscaling technology, to really get 4K out on the Switch. So, of course, Nintendo commented on this in their investor Twitter page. I'll go and link that below. It'll just be a simple link to the Twitter post itself, and this is the one that they use to talk to investors. It's the same one that they use to comment about the $350 is pure profit sort of thing on the Switch OLED. So this one's really basic, really simple. A news report on September 30th, 2021 falsely claims that Nintendo is supplying tools to drive game development for a Nintendo Switch with 4K support. To ensure correct understanding among our investors and customers, we want to clarify that this report is not true. We also want to restate that, as we announced in July, we have no plans for any new model other than Nintendo Switch OLED model, which will launch on October 8th, 2021. So I would just take everything with a grain of salt. We are talking about Bloomberg. Bloomberg has been really funny with what they've done at this point, and it wouldn't surprise me if this is bullshit yet again. What we're gonna have to look for, as always, is waiting for data miners to come out with some of these third-party games and rip them apart and see if there's any 4K textures or even mentions of 4K in some of these games coming out either in late 2021 or 2022. Of interest, of course, is going to be Star Wars Hunters to see if we have that 4K technology written into it. Now, the big issue is how are we going to get 4K? And we have to have a console upgrade to do something like that. There's no way the current console is going to be doing that because it's limited by its HDMI ports. So we'll have to find out exactly what happens later on, but I can say at the moment, I believe this is all bullshit, and we're just going to have to wait until some of these games come out later on, rip them apart to see if we have 4K. Bloomberg, yet again, has unsubstantiated claims and is going to make people think we're getting something more interested. With that, thanks for watching my video. This is the second one I'm going to be coming out with in a week, which is kind of crazy. Maybe expect more of that from me. I probably won't actually do it, but it'd be pretty cool if you subscribe to me. With that, thank you, goodbye.